I threw away my husband's Xbox after he refused to look for our lost dog. Am I the a-hole? Let's go on. For starters, I'm a nurse, 35 female. I've been extremely busy these past 3 months. Even writing this post is a privilege, and I'm having to do this in bits and pieces. I also gave birth to my daughter 6 months ago. I have an 8-year-old son as well. When I'm not working, I take care of my children. Okay, supermom. In January of 2019, my son suddenly developed this strong desire to have a dog. He begged and begged for a puppy from my husband, 35 male. I protested against that because I had just found out I was pregnant. Jesus. That's actually written into the script. My husband said,
"We should let our son have a puppy to teach him some responsibility, and that he would have some practice to take care of his baby sibling."
Okay. He had also promised that he would help our son take care of the dog. I was absolutely unconvinced, but I had to give in eventually because my husband had already agreed and I didn't want to cause further fights. Ooh, yeah. Puppies are a big responsibility. It's literally like having a baby. Okay, is you have a little baby and they poop and they pee everywhere and they're so cute. Like, don't get me wrong, they're so cute. But it's like big responsibility, especially for an 8-year-old. Cut to 5 days ago. My son had accidentally left the back door of our house open and the dog ran away. These 5 days were also some of the busiest, most grueling days of my work, and I had to take up night shifts because of a colleague that had fallen sick. Our son first went to my husband for help. He refused to help him and said that it was his, my son's, responsibility to care for the dog, and he has to do something about it himself. Something about it. What do you expect an 8-year-old to do about it? I get it, right? Because it's like you lost the dog. You need to like learn. You can't have, your parents constantly come to the rescue. This is also like not just like some sunglasses or like a hat. This is a living thing. This is something that needs to be taken care of. And I can understand wanting to help the kid look for the dog, but not to do it on his own. My husband has the privilege of working from home. He works at a law firm. He works for maybe 3 to 4 hours a day and plays Xbox the entire time, and sometimes gets up to check on our daughter. He literally has no added pressures. Okay, I mean, he is a lawyer. I'm actually very surprised that he's able to play Xbox in the middle of his day as a lawyer, but I digress. 5 days ago, when our son told me in tears that dad won't look for Tippy, I talked to my husband, who said it would teach our son some responsibility to take care of things in the future. Okay, again, what do you mean? Like, this is like a living creature. You can't just treat it as if it's nothing.
Oh, he'll just get another one.
No, aspetta. Which I found very callous since a dog is a living sentient being and not a thing. That part. It's not good. He was playing Xbox when I was talking to him as well. He also said he won't look for the dog or anything. Ooh. I think this is less about teaching your son a lesson and more about maybe a little bit of a gaming addiction. Yesterday, after coming home at night, the first thing I did was unplug the Xbox console and the controller and throw it in the trash can. Ooh, okay. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I can't help but wonder if it would be good to talk to him about that before we throw it out, but like, yeah, I get why you did what you did. This morning, before going to work, my husband threw a fit when he didn't find his Xbox in the living room. I told him I'd thrown it away because he was so addicted to it that he couldn't even get up and help our distressed son. When I came back from work, he told me he had found his Xbox in the trash since the garbage truck hadn't arrived then. Now he's being incredibly snarky, giving me the cold shoulder, and he's angry because his controller isn't working. Yeah, you got a full-blown addict on your hands. He also hadn't taken any measures to look for our dog, and our mutual best friend called and said my reaction was incredibly childish. Yeah, no, like, I mean, I get why you did what you did. I'm wondering if it would have made sense to, like, talk to him about it first before we threw away the Xbox. I digress. Now I'm spending my free day calling every neighbor of ours, making internet posters, and contacting animal shelters and animal control to see if Tippy had turned up anywhere, and consoling my heartbroken son. Am I the a-hole? So edited to add, husband's a lawyer. A lawyer's job depends on how many clients he has. My husband currently has almost no clients due to obvious reasons. He told me this himself, so his workload is significantly less. This is for all those people who are saying that I'm downplaying his work. Noted, that is definitely true. Still though, if he works from home and you have a distressed child and you're more worried about playing Xbox, yes, you need to teach your son, he needs to take care of his things. In this circumstance, it's not just like he lost a toy. He lost something that everybody in your family is responsible for, okay? So OP updated and said, Tippy hasn't been found. My shift ended 30 minutes ago and I'll go home and drive around in my neighborhood and surrounding areas to look for him. I have posted some pictures of Tippy on my profile for those who requested. Husband is still sulking about his controller. I'm at a wit's end. Okay, I'm sorry. We have the dog tax. So let's see the puppy tax. Oh, this account has been banned. Ooh, T. Okay, noted. I definitely wanted the puppy tax to be paid, but I digress. I think that you're right. I think that this is less about teaching your son to take care of his things and more about being inconvenienced and needing to get off the Xbox for him. Because how can you seriously not care about a little child that's crying to you? A little puppy that's somewhere running around in the cold? How can you not care about that? No, at that point, that's a problem. Not the a-hole. I was gonna go with everyone sucks here because throwing something in the trash is not the right response, but your husband sucks so much that I'm sticking with not the a-hole. I so feel for you. Your husband's response is truly callous and shows him as uncaring and irresponsible as a parent and spouse. And it goes beyond not helping to search for the dog. It's also him not picking up the slack when you are so stressed at work and dealing with your kids. Yup. Sadly, the current situation has exposed a-holes in many people. I just feel like he's being so incredibly neglectful of everyone because he's playing video games. And let me stress, okay? For those of you who are watching this video, my husband games, okay? He's downstairs in the basement in his little man cave gaming 2 hours a night. I literally don't mind at all. Not in the slightest, It's his way of unwinding. I would much rather him be downstairs and gaming and having social time with his friends than out at the bar, drunk every night in situations that I'd rather him not be. He's just downstairs in the basement, right? Within reason, I think it's a healthy hobby. I don't see a problem with gaming, at all. But I think if it's getting to the point where the gaming takes precedence over your responsibilities at home, I think we are treading the line. A bit of an addiction, if I may say so. And it's an addiction like no other. I know we've all seen videos of kids having their Xboxes taken away and the tantrums that they have and stuff. It's a full-blown addiction at that point. It's a dopamine rush. You take away that dopamine rush and people are gonna flip. I know that for sure. So he may not be thinking clearly. Do I wish maybe you had a conversation with him before you threw it out? Kind of. I do, but I think given the circumstances, he's neglecting his family, his wife, his child, and a living creature that he is responsible for at the end of the day. An 8-year-old can't be responsible for a puppy. So I don't blame you for doing what you did. Your son will be scarred by this for a long time. When he emotionally needed his father, he did not act like a parent. Sounds like your husband is a bit of a selfish jerk. Although 2 wrongs don't make a right. Your son is also watching you on how to handle it. Teach him well. Yeah, it's just very unfortunate all around. He absolutely will remember that. Also, the dog has been found. I would also like to point out, a lot of people are saying I was going to say everyone sucks here. This person posted this in the middle of COVID. Okay. So she's a nurse, she's in healthcare, and she's absolutely slammed at work. And shout out to the healthcare workers who had to live through that, who are still doing it. And even the people who called it quits, not an easy thing. I think under those circumstances, very stressful circumstances, I get why you did what you did, and I'm gonna go with not the a-hole. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so we can hang out. Let's hang out on the regular. We got one more gaming related story, okay? Am I the a-hole for selling my boyfriend's Xbox/games to pay his rent? Last week, I sold my boyfriend's Xbox and 6 of his games for £400 sterling. I did this because for the last 2 months, he's been depending on me financially, despite the fact that I female 20, am a student who can hardly provide for myself. I work a part-time job while studying because my student loans don't cover the cost of living. Meanwhile, my boyfriend, male 22, has been out of a job for 2 months and lives in a flat by himself. In those 2 months, he's put almost no effort into finding a job. Instead, he was spending all his time playing his Xbox, depending on me for money. Ooh, okay, spicy. No bueno. Last week, I kind of just lost it. I was fed up of him putting no effort into getting money, and I didn't want to pay for another month's rent. So instead, I sold his Xbox games without his consent in order to pay for his rent. I do feel guilty, but I'm hoping at least someone understands my reasoning. Am I the a-hole? With this in mind, I understand she's a student. I understand, that she's probably at her wit's end with this person. I do think that a conversation needed to happen before selling someone's possessions, okay? Let's not resort to stealing other people's stuff. You have the right to be mad. You have a right to even break up with this person and stop supporting them. Do you have the right to steal their stuff and sell it? No, I don't think so. OP edited, why didn't I communicate like an adult? I tried talking through with him like an adult on numerous occasions. I tried explaining that I can't afford to keep paying for his food, bills, rent, and everything else he needs to get by. He has borderline nothing in the bank account. Every time I talked to him about his job search or tried talking to him, he would shrug it off. He never put any effort into the conversation. It was always a case of, yeah, I'll start looking tomorrow, or yeah, I know, yeah. He never started looking for a job as far as I know. I felt like him being on his Xbox was the sole reason, wasting all his time on that instead of productively searching for jobs. I did use the money for rent because it was due and he would have had nothing to pay for it, but also because I thought it would be good to have that distraction out of his life. Honestly, I feel like even just breaking up with him, or threatening to end the relationship would have been better. I think giving him an ultimatum and just saying listen, if you're not gonna find a job, I can't keep paying for all of this myself. This relationship isn't working for me. Once he realizes that he could lose you, maybe it would kick him into gear and he would stop on his own. Maybe he is looking, maybe he's just not finding it. It's not your responsibility to look after this person. It's really not. I understand he's your boyfriend. I feel like you moving out, maybe you have another place to live. I feel like that would be better than stealing his stuff. I still don't like it. Edit 2, why didn't you just get him evicted? I didn't want him to become homeless. He isn't that close to his parents and he can't rely on moving into their home. I think losing an Xbox is way better than becoming homeless. Edit 3, I know what I did was illegal and theft. My boyfriend was furious when he found out I sold his Xbox, but he never brought up charges. He never said he would sue or report to the police. He knows that he depends on me financially. OP edited again. Yes, I understand this is theft. No need to keep repeating it in every single comment. Saying that, I think I will break up with him soon. I say this because so many of these comments have been saying dump him. I also agree. I wish that you had just broken up with him and just I understand you don't want him to be homeless, but that's also his problem. He's an adult. It's not your responsibility to take care of him. It wasn't your responsibility to sell his Xbox. And I don't think you should have stolen it and sold it. My last edit sounded way worse than I intended. I said, I think I will. I didn't say when. I don't mean right now, this second, and leave him with nothing. I read pretty much every single comment on this post, and a lot of things mentioned made me realize I can't keep on living with someone that's leeching off me. I'll end up just as broke as him if I continue. I've already spent nearly $2,000 on him in the last few months, digging through the little I have saved since I started working part-time at age 14. Am I the a-hole? Yes, you are. Yes, I actually feel like in this case, you are the a-hole. It is what it is. And again, you really should have just broken up with him and left him to fend for himself, or even threatened to break up with him. A lot can be salvaged when you kind of have an ultimatum. You have to be willing to step away from any situation in order to get what you want. It's same deal in business, right? I don't want to equate relationships to business, but I've been in many situations before where, I've been having to agree to things that I don't really want to in order to get a deal done or in order to keep a relationship going. But I have found that you are in a much stronger position if you are literally willing to walk away from a deal, walk away from a relationship. Giving them those ultimatums really not only kicks them into gear, but it shows them that you're not willing to accept the bare minimum. And it forces them to change. It really does. I wish you didn't have to do that, but sometimes you do. I wish you had given him an ultimatum or just left. If you cared about the relationship, the ultimatum maybe had to have been put forth, but I digress. You're the a-hole. This is stealing. You had the option of cutting him off financially and or breaking up with him, or just talking to him about your frustrations. OP's not a monster. She did a dumb thing because she's fed up as a poor student supporting a grown man. I get the argument. I really, really do. But at the end of the day, it's like, why are you in a relationship where you're being stretched thin like this at the same time? You're the a-hole. There's so many steps you could have taken before this, and I'm sure this is illegal. Just break up with him instead of selling his stuff. Or, talk to him like an adult. Some people said everyone sucks here. I could understand if you lived together and needed his half of rent, but he lives by himself. It's his problem. If he's that worthless, maybe it's time to cut your losses. I would say everyone sucks if she had given him an ultimatum and he still refused to do anything. Like, we don't know, right? Like, we don't know what could have happened, right? So I'm gonna go with you're the a-hole. Don't go anywhere. We got some more crazy relationship drama for you. This one is from the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit, and it's a spicy one. Am I the a-hole for sleeping with my wife's affair partner, her soulmate, before I filed for divorce? I'm sorry, what? What did you say? Order in the court. This question has rolled around in my brain for about 3 years. At the time this happened, I was 45 female and wife 37 female. I had previously been married and experienced some things that would make a lot of people never want to trust another human being again. Then came, let's call her Petri Dish, PD for short. Okay. That name will be justified later. PD was everything I thought I wanted in a partner. Attractive, funny, caring, and attuned with the future I'd always wanted. She moved in with me rather quickly, as lesbians do. So I thought nothing of this. When we met, she was living with 2 dudes in a trailer, one of them being an ex-boyfriend of hers. I thought, no problem. She came out after they dated. That ended up an issue when she would call him Daddy while talking to him on the phone. I'm sorry, in front of you? Okay. Not my first choice. When I would express how uneasy that made me feel, I was met with dismissal. I had to swallow my feelings and deal with it until my best friend and her boyfriend came over and witnessed a conversation and my reaction. When my best friend's boyfriend chimed in that it was indeed inappropriate, only then did she agree to stop. Never did I get an apology for ignoring how I felt about it previously. Fast forward to multiple red flags. The day before our wedding, my best friend calls me to inform me that my ex-wife reached out to her a few days prior. My ex-wife's fiance had gone to school with my soon-to-be bride and knew very much what she looked like. What? Her fiance had told her she saw my soon-to-be wife kissing someone at the mall. So, as asshole ex-wives do, she told my best friend, knowing that it would reach me. When I heard it, I chalked it off as ex-wife being an last play at screwing my happiness. But something quietly nagged at me and I shut it down. How could that be? This was my person. We got married, had a honeymoon in the Virgin Islands, came home and started a life as a happily married couple. I pay for most of the living expenses as I make more money. She does pay for some small costs and cleans more often than I do. I work 40 to 60 hours a week and she works maybe 26 to 30. Life seems good and then something feels off. I have a feeling something isn't right and I ask multiple times if she's cheating. I, of course, get a no. Every time. I had bought her an iWatch for Christmas that she would never wear and left it in the spare room that she would often sleep in. One night while she was at work, I grabbed the watch and looked at her texts. She was definitely having an affair with a girl named Sue. After investigation, Sue is the ex-girlfriend prior to me, her first love. After an obscure conversation, she leaves me for Sue. Sue is her soulmate. I was so blindsided. She soon tries to trickle back into my life, a lot of it forcefully. Something isn't right. I see the lies now and the real person in front of me. Love sucks. I'm still willing. However, I reach out to Sue multiple times until she responds. What you've all been waiting for. PD has been playing us both, telling Sue she's not talking to me and me she's not talking to Sue. So Sue and I decide to meet up to talk. We talk and we kind of connect. And then we connect. PD finds out, not accidentally, and well, life is hell for a moment more. Oh no. Fast forward several months, I get strep throat. Go to the doctor, get it fixed. Get it 2 more times in a month. Something's wrong. At the same time, PD's asking me to look at her. Look, where number 2 comes out of. Now, I haven't said yet, but I'm a nurse. Yeah, we got some herpes happening.
Uh-oh.
I beg your finest pardon. Made her go to the doctor, and well, just saying there's a good reason to call her Petri dish. Am I the a-hole? Okay, listen, I love a little petty revenge. I do. I don't love that you got back with this person who very clearly was a walking giant red flag. This is messy, my guy, my gal. Is everyone in the wrong here? I mean, there's a lot of people in the comments saying, fair is fair in the world of cheating. Do 2 wrongs make a right? I mean, technically, no. I wish that you had just gotten with Sue and called it a day. If you don't break up with this person, Petri dish, as you call her, I would call you the a-hole too. I don't love that you're staying with her. Enact your revenge, by all means. Go ahead, do it. But don't stay with her, okay? I would have much preferred this if you and Sue ran off into the sunset together. I would say you're not the a-hole, but you are an a-hole to yourself if you stay with her. Am I overreacting for feeling jealous after my boyfriend called someone else the woman of my dreams? I mean, are we talking a celebrity or even then, still don't love that. Even if you're not the woman of his dreams, he certainly shouldn't be saying that you're not. And also, why are we with people that don't consider us the woman of their dreams? So this was posted in the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit. My boyfriend and I, 23, have been together for a year. Everything has been great. We barely have any arguments. We enjoy our time together, and I feel like he supports me. Everything was perfect. But 2 days ago, we were walking, and a woman around the same age came to us screaming, excited. He looked at her and started screaming as well. They hug and jump together. At that moment, I genuinely thought it was a good friend or maybe a family member he hasn't seen in a long time, and I was happy for them. They started chatting a little bit more, and he introduced me, not as his girlfriend, but by my name. It was odd, but okay. Yeah, he did that deliberately. Just saying. He wanted to seem like he was single. They continued catching up, really excited, and exchanged phone numbers. I was just there. At that moment, it didn't feel wrong. I understood they were old friends and that was it. But after she went, he just kept looking at her until he couldn't anymore. Looked me right in the eye and told me,
"You just met the one that was the woman of my dreams."
I was frozen. I didn't know what to say, so I just nodded. He didn't even realize I was shocked. We kept going and that was it. But I've been thinking about this for 2 days and it's driving me crazy, especially because she looks nothing like me. I don't feel ugly and she's also pretty, but in a different way. My friends are sure I should dump him, but I'm not sure. I kind of want to have a conversation with him and try to continue the relationship. Girl, you've been with this guy for a year and he just openly got another girl's phone number in front of you and called her the woman of his dreams? The audacity of this man. Okay, so we do have an update. Thank you for your support. I decided to talk to him and I have an update, but first I need to clarify some things. We're not native English speakers. Sorry if my English is not that good. And by the way, like I'm paraphrasing a lot of what she's saying because it's not written grammatically from someone who speaks English. Like I can tell. That's okay. We love bilingual people here. But he did say it in past tense. We're both 23. He told me they were together in a couple classes in college. He quit college 2 years ago and hasn't seen her since. About the phone number exchange, we work/like the arts and it was more about some projects. Then why did he call her the woman of his dreams? She did mention she has a boyfriend and said we could all meet sometime, and he didn't seem upset about it. Now to the update. Whatever. Even if it is for work, why the f did he say that? Ew, I hate it. I'm mad for you. I don't even know how to start. I went to his house yesterday at around 11 a.m. I went thinking a 50-50 chance that we would either break up or not. When I got there, he was with a male friend and the three of us were talking. Then around an hour later, boyfriend got a call. It was her. She needed some pictures for her work and asked him if he was available and said,
I'm with my girlfriend and a friend.
Okay. I'm glad that he called you his girlfriend. I'll give him that. He then asked me if we could go, take the pictures, and come back. I didn't tell him I needed to talk, and I thought it was a good opportunity to see how they would behave now that it wasn't a surprise after 2 years of not seeing each other. So I said yes. His friend said he had nothing else to do, so he also went. We got there in an Uber, so I had no idea where I was. They were acting normal. She works in a private art school, gave us a tour, and mentioned they're looking for a new teacher. Boyfriend told her, I'm in my last semester, and they could hire me. She said she will mention it to the owner. I had been struggling with getting a job, so I was glad about it. Everything went normal until the end. Okay. I almost felt like grabbing the green flag there for a second because I'm happy that he's trying to get you a job. But like, I haven't forgotten. It doesn't cancel out the comment that he made. When we're out of the building, she asked him how much it was for the pictures, and he said it was nothing. Before at his house, he was talking about how he needed money. She insisted and told him she wasn't paying, the school was, but he didn't accept. His friend told him not to be stupid and at least ask for the money he used for the Uber. She agreed, but he said no.
No, it's fine.
They kept going a couple times until she went,
Well, then at least let me invite you to dinner.
he smiled and accepted. That was it. The sign I was looking for. Even his male friend looked at me and I could see in his face he was sorry for me. Ooh, not the pity stare. Ugh. In the Uber, I went totally silent, thinking about how to end the relationship. Then I looked at a park that is not so far away from my place and I asked the Uber to leave me there. He asked me what happened, but I didn't answer. I got out of the Uber and walked. The now ex followed me, asking what was wrong, and I couldn't ignore him anymore. I told him everything. I'm proud of how I told him. I wasn't yelling at him hysterically, but I was firm. He asked for a chance to explain himself. I told him he will waste our time because my decision was made. But he begged, so I stayed. He said a lot of things, but here are the main points. They were never a couple like that, but he did ask her to date. And she said she wasn't interested, so I don't have to worry about her because she doesn't like him. What? But he likes her? Oh, f off. Okay, so what happens if she suddenly changes her mind? Oh, absolutely not. No, no, no. He's entirely sure about it because he asked her out 3 times and she said no the 3 times. Dude. He is not looking for her anymore because she has a boyfriend, not because he loves me or because we have a future. He didn't say that, but that is what I thought in the moment. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. It's only because she's taken and she's not interested in him. The minute that changes and they get close or whatever, and maybe she decides that she, might be into him, it's over for you, baby girl. I'm just saying. I would not want to stick around to find out. If for any reason she changed her mind and looked for him in that way, he would say no because he's with me. Again, not because he loves me. After he finished, I told him I wasn't going to be in a relationship with someone who flirts with others and asked him to leave me alone. When I walked away, he said, I know I said she was the woman of my dreams, but you are the woman of my life. I just told him good luck with that and went home. How does that, I'm sorry, make it any better? That does not, He's just like taking a shovel, digging an even deeper grave, you know what I'm saying? He all the way down there in the grave. I told my friends everything, and they went to my place with breakup snacks, and we had a sleepover. We cried, cursed at him, and laughed. Unfortunately, he and I are together in some projects, so I can't just block him. But they were in favor of a petty revenge and asked some male friends that he doesn't know to go to my Instagram and write some comments like they're flirting with me. Ooh. Lastly, this morning I actually got a call from the school owner. He offered me the children and teenagers groups. The schedule is flexible, so it doesn't interfere with my classes, and the pay is not bad, so I said yes. I will start next Monday. Is this the job that she recommended you for? The woman of his dreams? I mean, I'll take it. But still, it might be awkward. I'm just saying, in the future, if she ever decides that she's interested. And well, that's it. I'm not gonna lie, I still feel sad, even though I know I did the best for myself. He was kind of the first really serious relationship I thought was the one until that problem. But I'm thinking about looking for therapy to find out why I thought about staying with someone like that, so I don't make the same mistakes. What I got from this, I really have amazing friends and I should listen to them. This community is also great, and I have a job, so it wasn't all bad. Listen, I think that women especially, well, I don't know about men. I'm not a man. Like, I don't know. But like, I think that we all make excuses for people that we really, really like, love as well. I have so many friends who their boyfriends did absolutely disrespectful things in front of them, and they still stayed with them. I fully believe that he cheated in front of you and tried to play it off like it wasn't a big deal. He was kind of talking to you as if you're like one of the guys, you know, like you were just a friend or whatever. I know he's young, but like who on God's green earth would tell their girlfriend that someone else is the woman of their dreams? Like that is just... I personally think that you should only date people who you can really, really see yourself with. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time. If they can see themselves with other people, I'd rather not waste my time. So, am I overreacting for feeling jealous after my boyfriend called someone else the woman of his dreams? No, absolutely not. You should be the only woman of his dreams. Yeah, there were so many red flags in that, but bottom line, he said what he said, and he also gave her his number in front of you. It would be one thing if, you know, there wasn't a history there, but he tried more than once to ask her out. She just said no. So he obviously likes her. I would feel so uncomfortable about my boyfriend exchanging numbers with someone like that. Absolutely not. That's like breakup fuel for me. Hell no. Am I the a-hole for not doing my fiance's laundry after he snapped at me? I, 33 female, stopped doing my fiance's, 33 male, laundry after he snapped at me. This was 3 years ago, but this morning he was grumbling about how he doesn't have any clean clothes per usual every week, and it starts to make me feel bad until I remember why I stopped doing it. To set the scene! I love it when you guys feature things in your posts that I say in the videos. Okay, so 3 years ago, I was heavily pregnant with our son. I was put on light duty, not bed rest, due to his heart rate fluctuating. I was seeing a doctor weekly and even had a nurse coming to the house once a week to keep an eye on things. When our son was born, his cord was wrapped around his neck twice. Oh my goodness. When the doctor quickly unwrapped it, and thankfully he had no issues because of it. The only problem after birth was the whites of his eyes were completely bloodshot red from the cord. He's now perfect and healthy in every way. 3 years ago, we didn't know why this was happening, so I was put on light duty. This particular day, same exact day every week, I collected my fiance's laundry, because why can't he use the basket designated for his dirty clothes? Believe me, I also wonder this. It's like it literally takes the same amount of effort. So I carried them to the stairs since our washer and dryer is in the basement. 2 baskets of his dirty clothes sat for 3 days by the stairs as I reminded him multiple times a day to carry his laundry down. Oh, I'm getting triggered. Are they all like this? I'm sorry. I fear they are. So, heavily pregnant, light duty, and stairs do not mix well. On the 3rd day of his laundry sitting by the stairs are in my kitchen, by the way, and right by our back door, which we use often, so very much in the way, I got a bit frustrated and in a more nagging tone complained about how he needs to carry his laundry downstairs so I can wash it for him. He snapped at me, told me,
"It's my laundry, I'll carry it down when I feel like it,"
with more expletives, and left for work. I know this isn't an am I overreacting, but like, I hate it. I hate it so much. Like I literally, ugh. So I carried his dirty clothes back to the room. A few days later, he asked me to wash some of his clothes because he had no clean clothes left. I told him no because I'll do it when I feel like it. Oh, hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. To present day, our dryer pieced out on us, so I've had to take the household clothes, 2 kids' clothes, and my clothes to my mother's house until we get a new dryer. I told my fiance I'll take his shirts, socks, underwear to my mom's, but he has to collect it. Like I said, why doesn't he just use his designated basket and put it in my car the night before? I only do laundry on Mondays. It's been over a year. He won't do it. It's like Monday laundry day sneaks up on him or something. Either way, I refuse to collect, carry, wash, dry, fold, return, put away everything. If he can't even collect it and carry it to my car, then that's his problem. So am I the a-hole for not doing my fiance's laundry anymore after he snapped at me? Be so for real right now. Like, be so for real. Like, the fact that he even had the audacity to ask you to do his laundry, like, you're not his mother. And I would think very seriously, I know he's your fiance, unless he really gets his act together. I don't know, man. Like, I'm really not a fan of this. It takes the same amount of effort to just put stuff where it's supposed to be put. You're pregnant, you've been told not to carry things. You do him a favor by doing his laundry. Yeah, I think at the very least not doing his laundry is what I do. But I don't love how he's acting. He kind of like, and believe me, this is actually quite common, okay? It's almost like men look for wives that take care of them like their mothers took care of them. That's still like very ingrained in them, right? Even if, you know, you're 50-50 on everything, like you're both contributing to the household. Now women are not only expected to contribute 50%, but also to take care of the house and the kids and, you know, your husband and all the other things, right? It's little things like this that tear marriages and relationships apart. I don't blame you for doing the petty thing. Okay, here's a funny comment. He will eventually start doing his laundry himself when his coworkers shame him for not being able to do his own laundry. Honestly, his mom needs to know. Well, wait, maybe not the mom, because I'm guessing the mom took care of him hand and foot, which is why he acts like this. I think we collectively as mothers need to be better about teaching not only our sons, but our daughters, you know, our children to take care of themselves and do their laundry, make the bed. Because, you know, if you grow up in an environment where a mother is constantly taking care of you and doing everything for you, how is that going to teach you basic life skills like cleaning and cooking and doing your goddamn laundry? Yeah, I'm really hoping that you guys like split the housework, like it's not just you doing everything, because if it's like he just kind of expects you to pick up after him and do his laundry and cook and clean and whatever, I don't love that. 29 years ago, my husband told me I don't do laundry like his mother does. I told you. Well, there's the problem. I'm not your mother. He has done the majority of laundry over the years. When I feel generous, I will do laundry but not touch his stuff. He's okay with it. Plot twist, he doesn't do laundry like his mother did. Oh, that's the ticket. A lot of people in the comments are still like, why are you engaged to this man-child? Listen, guys, like, I'm going to be honest. I can't think of a single friend that I have that doesn't have a boyfriend or a husband that doesn't pick up after himself. Women have higher standards as well, right? Like, men are totally fine living in like an empty apartment with like a lounge chair and a TV and a computer, and they don't give a shit about anything else, okay? I'm just saying this right now. And this is a constant source of stress in relationships, okay? It is constant. I wish I had a better way of dealing with it other than maybe there could be some positive reinforcement, you know? Remember that video that we did on my second channel where the wife put money in the pockets? And then the husband did his own laundry because he found money in there every time? He not only did his laundry, he did her laundry too. Maybe that's a solution for this. So, am I the a-hole for not doing my fiance's laundry after he snapped at me? No, you're not, and I'm sure he'll come around. And if he doesn't, he's got to answer to me. All right, we got one more. For those of you who are still listening, it's a good one. Am I the a-hole for choosing my wife over my mom? I, 32 male, have been married to my wife, 33 female, for 5 years. I lost my dad when I was 16. I'm an only child. Life was rough after he passed, but my mom is one of the strongest women I know. I was shattered and she held everything together. I love her more than anything. I'm sorry to hear, my dear. My condolences. I met my wife in my first year of college. We've basically grown up together. She's my world. Right now, the three of us live together in our apartment. My mom is getting older and needs care, and I feel lucky that I have the two most important women of my life under one roof. Both my wife and I have good careers. We're ambitious and doing well. And yes, we don't have a child. That's a conscious decision. I'm okay either way. I love kids and I would love to have one someday, but my wife doesn't want one right now. Maybe not ever. We've had long conversations about it. I've never forced her. It's her body. She's at the peak of her career. She says she doesn't feel ready for motherhood and doesn't know if she ever will. I respect that. Honestly, there's a lot of people who feel this way. I know a lot of people who were honestly never ready. Even when they did have kids, they were just never ready. I don't blame her. The issue is my mom desperately wants a grandchild, as they do. For the past year, she's been emotionally pushing. Subtle comments like,
You'll understand when you have your own. Don't wait too long. Women regret it later.
I kept brushing it off, hoping it would fade. Ugh. Honestly, in this day and age, there's so much information out there. Like, have you seen the girl with the list? The girl with the list that compiles all the things that are awful about being a mother. To know all of those things and to still go through with it, you have to really, really, really want that. Man, like pregnancy knows, you got to take like folic acid and prenatals so that like you don't lose your teeth. Like you're not allowed to take hot baths for 9 months. Not to mention, if you get a sucky child, you got to deal with that part. Listen, I really don't blame people that choose not to have children. I really don't. I kept brushing it off, hoping it would fade. 2 days ago, we had guests over who brought their kids. After they left, my mom looked at my wife and said,
You can't even give me one grandchild? Isn't that what women are meant to do? Your biological clock is already expiring.
Hold the on. Hold on. That's bullshit. Okay. That's 100% bullshit. At 33, your biological clock is not expiring. And that's also based on like older data. It's based on literally society trying to push women to procreate, saying that it's like our only goal in life or should be our only goal. It's not. Your wife is at the height of her career and she would have to give that up in order to have a child. I know plenty of women who, they have the height of their career. They seek some stability, maybe a job that's not as demanding, and then they choose to have children because they're ready to, okay? Ain't nobody pressuring me into having kids. And at 33 years old, which is how old OP's wife is, that is not an expiring biological clock. Like, I think it's just the complications of getting pregnant, the chances of that go up a little bit, like every year or every 5 years or something like that after the age of 35. That doesn't mean that we can't have children still. What about all the women that have, second, third, fourth children in their 40s? Chill out. And also there's options like IVF, okay? And furthermore, maybe she just doesn't want them, okay? I just really hate that argument. I was kind of projecting there a little bit just because I really don't like it when people push it on me and they use the like age as a thing. There's plenty of women who have babies later in life. And I'm fully of the opinion that you should get to where you want to be in life, seek some stability, and then have children when you're ready to take time off, to really give it your all. So my wife immediately said, isn't it my decision whether or not I want to have a child? It turned into a heated argument. I stepped in and I told my mom, please stop forcing us. It's her decision. Whatever she decides is final. You don't get to talk to her like that. Period. Thank you. I won't lie, my tone was harsh. I've never raised my voice at my mom before, ever. I've always been respectful, but this time I snapped. I'd been ignoring these comments for a year, and hearing her question my wife's worth as a woman just broke something in me. Now my mom hasn't spoken to me in 2 days. The house feels tense. Ooh, yeah, you all live together. Ooh, yeah. I mean, to be honest, your mother has to apologize. for that, because that's BS. You know, she is coming from a different generation. There are a lot of women out there that do feel like that's our only purpose or our main purpose or our best purpose or whatever. It's not our only purpose. It's not the only reason for living. You know, she was probably raised to believe that or to feel that way. She's older, but I still think that she needs to apologize. So the house feels tense. I feel guilty for shouting at the woman who sacrificed everything for me. But I also feel like if I hadn't stepped in, I would have failed my wife. My mom hasn't been eating well and mentioned she wants to move out. Baby, that's not a bad thing, honestly. Like, I can't even think about how annoying it would have to be around someone who makes comments like that all the time. Pressures me. Like, it would make me not want to do the thing that she's pressuring me to do. Like, you tell me to do something and if I feel backed into a corner, I will never do it. Like, I will never do the thing that you're trying to pressure me to do. Ever. Just because I'm petty like that. Okay? I think if your mother has any hope of having a grandchild, shutting up and moving out is the best thing that she can do if she wants that outcome. Am I the a-hole for losing my temper and shouting at my old mom like this? Honestly, I don't think you are. I know that you feel like an a-hole, and being a mother is a thankless job. But at the same time, being a mother doesn't mean that we're right all the time, like as women. To show strength and be a good mom, I feel like we have to recognize when we're wrong and be okay with admitting that. And being just as a person in general, being a mother and giving someone life does not absolve you from any responsibility of how you treat people. I think it would be good if you both apologized. Okay. I would really love it if, she also apologized, right? Not the a-hole, your wife isn't an incubator, your mom crossed a line, wanting grandkids is fine, shaming a woman for not providing them isn't. It's just kind of the way things go though. You get married, you're with someone for a while, everyone starts asking. I feel like it's so ingrained in our society that everyone, when are you guys gonna pop a kid out? Or are you pregnant? I see it all the time. I know you guys question that with me as well. And I want kids, but I'm not in a rush. But it's so inherently ingrained in us that the minute that you get married, everyone's okay, now what? Now what? Some people mean well, but I think in general, everybody just needs to zip it with regards to the pressuring, okay? I feel like the stats are 1 in 3 couples have issues conceiving right away. I think it's safe to just stop asking. Don't ask. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know the reasons. Maybe she can't have kids. Maybe she doesn't want to have kids. Maybe it's just collectively, we should all just decide to mind our own business with that. Okay? You are not the a-hole. Subscribe!